Shalom. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Healthy in Heart, where I hope you are healthy in heart, mind, body, and soul, just like I strive to be every day. If you're new here, my name is Angel, and today is day 1 of week 12 on Moonjaro for me. I'm currently taking 6.6 milligrams, and this is my weekly update. So let me just rip the Band-Aid off. I had another week where the scale reflected a weight gain. Yes, again. My weekly average weight for this week was 235.7 pounds, which means my total loss on Mounjaro is down to 0.3 pounds. Frustrating? Absolutely. Surprising? Not really. Here's the thing. I felt for a while that I've been consuming too many calories. My bio-impedance scale says my BMR is 1,647 kilocalories, but my nutritionist recommended 1,941 kilocalories. Guess when my weight loss stopped? Ding, 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 right when I started following that advice. That's why tracking food is so important. You can see trends and actually make adjustments instead of just guessing. So here's my new game plan for the next month. I'm doing an experiment. I'm going to test out the zigzag calorie counting, averaging around 1,550 kilocalories per day. Zigzag calorie counting, also called calorie cycling, is a dieting strategy where you vary your daily intake instead of eating the exact same amount of calories every day. The idea is to alternate between high calorie and low calorie days while maintaining a weekly deficit for weight loss, or a surplus for muscle gain. This approach helps prevent metabolic adaptation, reduces hunger, and makes dieting more flexible. So how have my blood sugar and energy levels been? My blood sugar, there's been no big changes this week. Even with the increase to 6.6 milligrams, I haven't noticed much improvement, but here's the kicker, or much additional improvement. But I haven't been paying attention to my fat intake. And we know that dietary fat can cause insulin resistance. So I'm making another adjustment, keeping my total fat for the day under 30 grams. And I'm going to see if that helps. Energy and mood has been pretty stable. No bursts of energy, unfortunately, but also I haven't had any major slumps, and no stress this week, which is great because stress equals cortisol, and high cortisol equals no bueno for weight loss or blood sugar control. So let's talk about side effects. This week has been my worst to date on side effects. So this was my first week at 6.6 milligrams, and nausea showed up like an uninvited guest every single day, especially at night. But the good news is the nausea has started to ease up over the past couple of days. So how did I help control the nausea? I do have medication that is supposed to help control the nausea. I didn't feel like it was that bad to take that. But what did help was taking slow, deep breaths until the nausea passed. Yeah, I know it sounds really simple, but it works for me. If you're struggling with nausea, give it a try and see if it'll work out for you too. And today I took my second dose at this level, so I'm hoping the nausea continues to improve. Usually with the GLP-1s, you get side effects in the first week of when you increase a dose. So diet and nutrition. What's working for me is pre-planning my meals. Eating similar meals throughout the week takes the stress out of food decisions, which means less anxiety and more control. What's not working for me diet-wise is some butter or peanut butter. I love it, but it is high in fat. And we just talked about how fat can mess with insulin sensitivity. So I'm cutting it back to once a week instead of several times a week. Also, my regular viewers know I have an allergy to nightshades, which causes an eczema rash on my hands and sometimes around my mouth and around my lips. I'm having an active breakout right now, which means that a nightshade is somewhere hiding in something I'm consuming. I believe the culprit is the Violife cheese slices I've been having intermittently. I just read the label this morning, and one of the ingredients is paprika extract, and another ingredient is potato starch. Excuse me, both of those are nightshades. Now, I haven't tested out the potatoes or tomatoes yet in the nightshade family, but I definitely get reactions from peppers and from ashwagandha. If you didn't know, ashwagandha is also a nightshade, as is tobacco, but I don't smoke anymore. So you have to always be vigilant and read those labels, which I am so bad about doing. My husband gets on me all the time for not reading the labels. Exercise and activity. I did have a big change in my workouts this week. For this week, for last week, I had been using a 35-pound weighted vest for my walks, but it was causing back pain. And I suspected it was too much weight on my shoulders, which led to spinal compression. So I made a switch. I took 4 5-pound ankle weights and connected them together by the Velcro straps and wrapped them around my waist like a belt. Because I did look for weighted belts and I couldn't find any above 10 pounds. But anyway, that reduces the load to 20 pounds, which I don't like. I prefer to have the 35-pound, but it distributes it better, which means no more pain. So how can I increase the intensity of my workouts in the future? I might add wrist and ankle weights and increase speed or incline. Also, planning in the next couple of months to start resistance training with weights. So there's that future long-term goal. Another long-term goal is walking 1.5 hours, 6 days a week. And in case you're wondering, Mounjaro isn't affecting my exercise ability or motivation at this point. When I first started, I had some pain in my calves when I was walking, but it would quickly dissipate when I stopped. But that has disappeared over the last couple of weeks. So now let's talk about Mounjaro news, because this week was a doozy. If you're using Mochi Health for compounded Tirzepatide, you probably heard about Equity Pharmacy being temporarily banned from making it. Here's what Mochi told me in a message sent to my patient portal. Hi, Ms. Keaton. We're getting in touch to let you know that prescriptions fulfilled by Equity Pharmacy will now be fulfilled by another licensed and accredited pharmacy. All prescriptions have been rerouted, and we do not expect any delays to shipments. We are committed to continuing to provide access to personalized compounded medications as determined by your medical provider. Please feel free to reach out to your provider directly for any questions about your prescription. Our care team is also available by phone 24/7 and they listed a phone number. On March 11th, Equita informed us that they voluntarily stopped operations to fulfill requests from the Pharmacy Quality Assurance Commission, a division of the Washington Department of Health. On March 12th, the PQAC issued a non-disciplinary action to Equita Pharmacy. We consider it a good thing that PQAC takes steps to regularly guarantee a high standard of quality in the compounding pharmacy space. There were no direct issues with the quality or safety of any medications shipped or produced. We are reassured that their primary concerns were related to reporting structures and other operational matters. Mochi Health is committed to providing you with the highest quality, safest medications. We apologize for any inconvenience. If you have any questions, please contact our customer service team 24/7 and they give a phone number or via portal message. Warmly, the Mochi team. All right, so let's be real. I don't believe they actually voluntarily stopped operations. From what I understand, they were ordered to stop. And there was also something else that was inaccurate in that. Oh, that there was no direct issues with the quality of safety or any medication shipped or produced. They have no way of knowing that. We are assured that their primary concerns were related to reporting structures and other operational matters. The other operational matters would be having people who were not adequately trained in compounding the medications. So they had people who were ignorant of what they were doing, making the medications. So that leads me to believe that there could be issues with the quality and safety of the medications. That's just my opinion. So hopefully they get things fixed soon, because the compounded version is one of the few ways to get this medication at a reasonable price. Make no mistake, money is what is driving all of these companies, from Equita Pharmacy to Mochi to Eli Lilly. So also, I did have a meeting last week with a different nutritionist, which I gave a brief overview last week. And while I can't do intuitive eating like she suggested, be on the lookout for a video and article that goes into detail about why that doesn't work for me coming up soon. She recommended that I use a continuous glucose monitor for checking blood sugar spikes after I eat, which I have one on now. I did talk with my doctor on Monday about getting a prescription for them, and so he's working on that right now. But I did have one from when I was on insulin that's still good, so I'm using it now. So basically that is to help identify which foods are causing blood sugar spikes. It's just another data point, which can be beneficial. So what's keeping me motivated? It's really simple. Mounjaro has dramatically improved my blood sugar and completely quieted my food noise. That alone makes it worth it for me. If you're struggling with weight loss on Mounjaro, I would love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share your experience, and let's support each other. I do know that people who are diabetic have a harder time losing weight, even with the Mounjaro. Now, my highest weight was 306 pounds. That's my highest known weight. I've lost over 70 pounds myself with various diets, and mostly when I went whole food plant-based. When I cut out the animal products, that's when I lost most of the weight. But this journey isn't easy, but it is so much better when we can do it together and support each other. So I'm going to wrap up this week's update. If you found this helpful, I'd love it if you hit the like button and subscribe for more updates. Don't forget to comment with your progress or questions you may have. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.